Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at all that damn red. This is BeSt versus Cal, and they're showing, I think, their last 10 matches versus Protoss. And as you can see there, both these players have been playing really, really, really well. BeSt, of course, uh, he's basically, I mean, he's known for his Protoss versus Protoss especially. Well, now he's known for beating every damn person in his tracks. But Protoss versus Protoss is his best matchup. You can see he's lost he's lost 1 out of his last 10 matches in Protoss versus Protoss, and I know what that one loss is. That was versus Stork, and the last time he's lost to a Protoss was back in the last OSL. It was a best of 3, I think, in the round of 16, and BeSt took 1 game from Stork, and Stork took 2 games, obviously, and won the series. But I guess that wasn't obvious, but um, well, it may have been if you saw that BeSt lost the 3rd game, but not the second. In any case, yeah, and that was before BeSt really kind of broke out into this crazy, crazy tear he's been on lately, just slaughtering everyone left and right. He's lost, let me see, he's lost 3 games total since that OSL matchup against Stork. 3 games total at all out of like 20, and he's lost none against Protoss since Stork. He hasn't lost a game versus Protoss against Stork. So BeSt is on a complete and utter tear. By the way, the writers at SC2GG.com, I just did a feature on BeSt, by the way. So if you want, you can go check that out. And that's I haven't actually looked through all of it yet, but it looks to be pretty sweet. And it's by JWD, and he's an awesome writer. He does a lot of our write-ups for well, he does the commentary of the week write-ups with Mr. Bitter and stuff. So that promises to be a really, really cool little feature on BeSt. He's also the SKT writer, so he knows what he's talking about. And by the way, BeSt is going to be in the blue in the top left corner. Cal is going to be in the top right hand corner in I'll call that yellow. Cal, on the other hand, I've been ranting about BeSt for like 2 minutes solid, but Cal, on the other hand, has also been playing really, really well. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this game, even if I wasn't going to comment the whole series between SKT and STX, Cal has been on an absolute tear as well. He's been playing mostly Terrans. He's not known for his Protoss versus Protoss, but he's an incredibly, incredibly smart player. Ridiculously smart. Um, Really, really creative as well. He's basically become one of my favorite Protosses. He just came off of a series in the MSL quarterfinals against for Gigi, and I won't tell you the result of that because I don't think the commentaries have come out yet. But regardless of how he performed regardless of how he came out of that, he played extremely well and really, really impressed me. And something he did in Game 1 made me consider him one of my favorite Protosses now. Um, but you can go ahead and see that. The commentaries are, I'm not sure, I think Digby might be doing the commentaries of that game now. We'll see. Cal, by the way, scouting through the middle. He wants to make sure there's no proxies or anything, and I think that's probably a good idea. Just as in a series, sometimes when a player goes up 1-0 over the other, they'll try and cheese and get a quick 2-0 on him. And same thing, if you haven't seen Game 1 of this series, by the way, go check that out. But first, if somehow you managed to view this from first, BeSt versus Calm. And oh, is Probe coming in there from across the way? Oh, he should have seen which way that Probe went, so he'd know which way to go to scout Cal, although he may suspect anyway. But it looks like BeSt did not. I mean, to scout BeSt. Anyways, BeSt did not figure that out, and he decided to go on. And actually, no, Cal, yeah. So Cal is going to go over and scout to the right first. He's going to not get it. He might not even get a scouted on BeSt because his probe is going to be so long getting there. Because he's gone across the map. Now he's going to scout the bottom right. Finally, he's going to figure out that it's the top left where he is, and BeSt might get a Dragoon out by them. We'll have to see. Although it looks like Cal is going to send out a Zealot, and his Zealot's going to be able to scout the top left before anything too much happens. But we'll see what happens there. In any case, so yeah, Cal has been playing really, really well. I've been really impressed with him too. So basically, this is kind of a match to see, like, you know, who the top Protoss in the world, well, not the top Protoss, but who's better of the two of the top Protoss in the world, because both these guys are within the top 5, definitely, Protosses in the world right now. And so, along with, I'd say, Much and Jangbi and I always forget one when I try and think of who the best Protosses are, but in any case, Stork not playing extremely well. BeSt looking really nice against Calm last game, but can't consider him to be one of the best right now. Um, Anytime hasn't been playing a whole lot recently, so it's hard to tell how he's doing as well. But these guys are definitely in the running. Lucifer's been looking good. Pure's been looking pretty good too, actually. But those two guys have a little bit of proving left to do. Um, any case, so both players getting a couple early zealots here. Usually players won't get two zealots; they'll get 0 or 1 or something like that. Actually, versus Terran, usually they'll sometimes skip the zealot, depending on the map, depending on the map setup. Um, no, actually, I take that back. Usually they'll get a zealot against Terran. But sometimes in Protoss versus Protoss, they'll just skip the Zealot outright and just go straight to Goons. But both of them getting a couple Zealots, and that means they're kind of playing it safe. Also, it also means that, I mean, they've got a hard choke. They've got a choke point that they can hold and then get a second base. So they might want to have some Zealots out to blockade and try and do that. And that Zealot's that Dragoon's in danger. He's going out by himself. No, he's getting cornered by two of BeSt's Dragoons. And he looks like Cal can't figure out for a second there if he wanted to engage or if he wanted to retreat. But he is going to retreat. That Dragoon is going to make it out after all. And it looks like he was distracting the Dragoons away so he can get his scout in. Brilliant by Cal. Freaking brilliant by Cal. He is going to see that robotics facility, so he's going to know what kind of tech BeSt is going. That is what I'm talking about. That is why I love Cal. He's a really incredibly smart player. That was brilliant. That was sheer brilliance by Cal. Cal, in the meantime, has expanded. Before getting his own robotics facility. So if he can hold out here for a minute, he's going to be economically ahead. BeSt has not managed to get a scout in. And the fact that he's gone for the robotics facility means that we're probably going to see him go for, well, obviously we're going to see him go for some quick tech. If Cal had gone for that fast expansion and BeSt had gone for gateways or something like that and gone for forces, he might have had an opportunity. But the fact that Cal has seen that BeSt was not expanding, not getting a lot of forces, means that Cal knows that he can safely get that expansion. That's exactly what he's doing. So he is going to come out with an economic lead here very quickly, because basically, yes, BeSt is going to get his tech out a little bit sooner, but it won't really necessarily matter in the because he's going to have the distance between his base and Cal's base, and so he won't be able to use the tech immediately. He'll have to get his forces all the way over there, and so the distance the time it'll take for his forces for BeSt in the top left for BeSt's forces to go over to the right hand side of the map, in that amount of time, that will be the time difference that it will take for Cal to get the same tech. And so then they'll be even, and Cal's going to be ahead economically, though. So, pretty brilliant move by Cal, taking all of that into account. BeSt also, if you note, has gone for observers first. He did not get that scout in on Cal's base, so he didn't know if Cal was going for Dark Templar or anything like that. Well, I mean, he got a scout in earlier, but he didn't get the late scout in like Cal did by using that little distraction technique. That was sheer brilliance. Anyway, so he didn't know, so he had to get observers first. He couldn't quite make complete use of his early tech because he couldn't go straight reverse without being worried about a Dark Templar coming in, some sort of Dark Templar rush. Now he gets in there with the observer, and he's going to be able to see Cal's tech, see what he's doing, but it's like I said, Cal has had his expansion up and running for a little bit longer. And, wow, okay, so BeSt trying to even things up with a third expansion here. Looks like BeSt is going to try and put some pressure on and get his third expansion up to try and even things up. If Cal doesn't get a third expansion in just a moment as well, then either A, he's going to have to drop the hammer before BeSt gets that expansion up and running, or he's going to have to put up his own expansion in order to match things economically. But the time it takes, if Cal goes for an expansion right now, the time it's taken between nexuses for these two players, BeSt will have basically even things up economically by, Cal gets a little bit ahead with the second base, BeSt gets a little bit ahead with the third base, and so it kind of evens out. But it looks like Cal has not expanded. Cal might just be going for a straight